Hey youth, how are you? It's uh it's me again. I just was walking around the woods and I thought maybe because there's nobody around, I thought maybe I'll do my mini lesson out here in the local environs. Okay. So maybe we check it out and I'd tell you where I am, but then I'd have to kill you because it's on a need to know basis, and you don't need to know. Harriman State Park. So what I'm doing today is, as I was walking around, I thought, you know, even though this has almost nothing to do with English, I thought it just might be interesting, and it's something I teach my kids when they were younger. But it's actually kind of cool, and I don't know when I'm going to get this chance again, but um, even though I'm in the middle of the woods right now, um, the number one killer for a lot of people is that they get lost. And when they get lost, they run out of three things: food, water, and shelter. And of those three, the two most important are water and shelter. Now, from where I stand here in the middle, there's not a lot of water. There's plants growing and there's trees, and it's the end of winter, beginning of spring, and I don't see a lot of water. But if you can look around behind me, you can see the way the ground rolls. Okay, and generally, when you're out in the woods, or whether it's a pine forest or deciduous forest, you want to go down. You want to go down the hill. So as I'm showing you now, even though you can't see the water, eventually, if I go downhill, I'm going to find some. And that covers one base. And, water generally in the Northeast or in America is pretty clean, and you probably won't have anything to worry about drinking it. And that's another lesson in itself, finding clean water. But what happens when we get lost? Okay. Well, if you look around, you see a lot of trees. Now, today's a sunny day, and if you look up, you can see the sun right behind that cloud over there. And it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, so the sun rises in the east, so I know generally that if it was right over my head, it would be 12 o'clock. And because it's a little bit to my left, I can see that east kind of runs that way, right into that valley of mountains. Okay, so if that's east, then this is west over here, which again is to my right, and that's not hard to figure out. But what do I do when it's cloudy and I can't see the sun? Well, then what you do is you look at these trees, okay? And on the trees, I don't know if you can see them, but there's a thing called lichen, okay? And if I look at this tree over here, I could see that there's some lichen on the left side of the tree, not on the right, okay? And it's kind of tricky. You don't want to be too far you want to be in a wide open place, not in such a dark place, where it's very shady, because then sometimes the lichen can get confusing. Like if I come over here and I see the moss, which is in the lichen family, you see that right there. Now that is right on top. I can't tell what direction it is. And then if I look at this one over here, I see the lichen pretty much goes around the tree, all total. So you're going to need a couple of trees to look at. But generally, what I'm starting to see is, I'm starting to see a little bit more on this side of the trees than on this side too. If you look at on this side, I see a little bit more on this side than I do on this side. So if I look at 7 or 8 trees and it's cloudy out and I see the lichen is generally in one direction, and that direction is probably north. Okay, so even though I know that that is north, the lichen pointing in that general direction will tell me it's north. And if I know where north is, then I could tell you where south is, and I can tell you where west is, and I can tell you where east is, generally. Okay? And, again, we're starting a new term, and a lot of you are doing the schoolcraft, which is good. Oh God, there's somebody coming up the hill. Do you see him? All right, you see that guy? He's coming up the hill. Hi! Yeah, they look very mysterious. Very mysterious. All right, I'm going to have to keep going. All right. Anyway, so you're reading the school crap right now, and you're reading the other stuff, and that's good. Why? Well, generally, I'm looking at stop and frisk, and it's not such an easy topic. You know what I'm saying? What? I think they're following me. I'm going to confront them right now. But keep reading and keep checking it out, and keep answering those questions, because I don't want you guys to fall behind the 8 ball. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not back at a certain time, call the proper authorities.